Very often, when people come to me for coaching or counseling, they are feeling stuck and helpless. And you know why? They tell me that I have tried everything. I've tried convincing my partner or the other person with whom they're having issues that you need to change or adjust with me, but they're not willing to do so. So then, what is the solution? We are resigned to this misery. So in today's video, what I want to tell you is that even if the other person is completely unwilling to change, completely unwilling to adjust, there are 5 powerful ways in which you can shift your reality. The number one point is, and this is an uncomfortable truth of life, शायद सुनने में आपको अच्छा भी ना लगे, लेकिन it is true that we are all co-creators of our reality. So life is not just happening to us. At every point, we have access to choice. So, for example, you feel bullied in a relationship, that's your choice. You feel taken for granted, that's also your choice. Remember that you're not some helpless victim of circumstances. You have the freedom of choice in every moment, and even a subtle shift in your response can drastically shift your reality. So, if you decide to say no, that's a choice. You decide to place boundaries, that's again another choice. So, remember this. Remember that you don't have to just be a silent recipient of your life, but at every moment, your response, however subtle, can shift your reality. The second point is, and I love this one, it's called switch on your inner empowerment. Many of us are not in touch with the inherent dignity, strength, and power of our own lives because we've spent our lives feeling that we have no power. So, what I want you to do is the next time somebody speaks in a mean tone to you or tries to belittle or bully you, start observing what is happening within. You will probably start panicking or your heart will start racing, and embrace that moment. And in that moment, remind yourself to switch on that inner empowerment. In fact, the way I do it is to have a favorite mudra. Nobody can see it, but with that one hand gesture, my body signals to itself that I am feeling empowered in the moment. So it could be just crossing your fingers or having, a mudra like this. And in that moment, you will start to feel the empowerment, the strength pulsing through you. And that is the way you're going to be able to change this disempowerment into empowerment. The third point is, as you know, it takes two to tango. And no matter how unreasonable and difficult the other person is, there are some things that you are doing that are triggering them or that are not motivating them to change. मुझे इससे एक एग्जाम्पल याद आया। कुछ साल पहले एक कपल आया था मेरे पास थेरेपी के लिए, एंड जब भी हस्बैंड अपने वाइफ के बारे में कंप्लेन करता था तो आई सॉ दैट द वाइफ वाज ऑलवेज क्वाइट, शी डिड नॉट रिस्पॉन्ड. सो लेटर व्हेन आई आस्क्ड हर why she was doing that, she was like, nahi, I think it's better for me to stay silent. And then I realized that she was treating that as a virtue. She was thinking she was doing a great thing by staying silent. And I realized how that was actually triggering the husband, because she would never say anything. He would feel even more invalidated, and then he would shout more, he would get more aggressive. So, what we need to realize is that there are things that we are doing which we need to become aware of, that are actually making the situation worse. So, even if it's not out and out criticism, it could just be a subtle rejection of the other person, a subtle distance. That is also very powerful, and you need to change that. ये जो चौथा पॉइंट है, ये मेरे स्पिरिचुअल बिलीफ से आया है. तो in my spiritual philosophy, I believe that every single human being, regardless of who they are, is worthy of respect. When you start truly believing that, internalizing that belief, you will notice that people will somehow magically start changing the way they show up in relationships with you. इनफैक्ट मैंने तो ये अपनी डेली प्रेयर बना ली है कि जब भी मैं ऑल्टर के सामने बैठती हूँ टू प्रे, I pray that I accept and embrace all the significant people in my life. In fact, all the people that I interact with just the way they are. And when we are able to honor the inherent dignity of other people's lives, then they just somehow, show us glimmers of cooperation, adjustment, things that we never believed that they could do. Try this and you will know what I'm talking about. The last and most important thing to understand when you want to shift the reality of your relationship is that it is not that person who is doing good and bad things to you. It is actually the universe that is delivering an experience to you via that person. So when you elevate your consciousness, when you're able to collect a lot of good fortune in your life, that same relationship, which was earlier a cause for misery, will suddenly become more joyful, more harmonious. That person will start responding to you differently. And I have seen this unmistakably in my own life. When I have created better causes, when I have focused on encouraging and empowering other people, when I have become more selfless, and by selfless, I don't mean not loving myself, but when I have really focused on being more compassionate, more courageous, I've noticed that good fortune has started to flow in my life. And that's when my relationships have become sweeter. Everything starts becoming more attuned and more beautiful. So try this. Remember that it is the universe that is delivering that experience to you. So I hope this video was helpful. Please share it and please subscribe to this platform. And there's lots more really precious gyan coming your way on relationships.